Welcome back to Second Chance, a series where I take an extended look back at games that didn't originally click with me during my first hour with them. This month, I'm taking another look at the wonderful 101 Remastered. In my initial impressions, I commended the game for its sense of movement, overall speed, and satisfaction it provides for landing large hits. I stopped playing after the first hour though, because the camera system made it difficult to clearly follow the action, and the remapped touch controls were prone to failure. There was some hope that using actual touch controls on the Switch would help, so for this attempt, I gave it an extended play in both docked and handheld mode to see if that would change my opinion. Let's jump in. I don't know what exactly causes it, but one of my favorite things in gaming is the feeling you get when controlling a large amount of characters. Something about delegating and almost automating the movement of a multitude of units is just so satisfying to me. Real-time strategy games scratch that itch. Pikmin is practically dream fulfillment of it. And the wonderful 101 builds an entire game and mechanics around the idea. So you could say I was a bit predisposed to like this game. A strong visual identity is also something that I cherish in games, or frankly in any media. The wonderful 101 has a style that is very unique to itself, and I love it for that. The colors are bright and the characters are unique. It's a campy comic book-esque world that simply exudes fun. After playing it for an extended period of time though, I started to get more and more frustrated by the fact that visual clarity has been sacrificed in order to achieve its unique style. The amount of visual flourishes on screen means that in addition to having a camera system that occasionally obscures action, the playable character is also hidden by layers of visual flair. It's incredibly easy to lose track of the action, both in terms of oncoming attacks, but more critically, just where the main playable character is. It can all be a bit overwhelming if I'm being honest. And that's to say nothing of the menu pop-up after menu pop-up that happens too. If the visual clutter of 100 on-screen characters wasn't enough, try following the action with all of this going on. As an example of how easy it is to lose track of the playable character, there was one platforming section where I failed at least half a dozen times because the playable character kept getting lost in the crowd. Spectacle was prioritized over playability, and it quickly zaps the fun that is here. Now, a key part of the game revolves around swapping between fighting styles. Certain enemies are more susceptible to different attacks, so changing things up is highly encouraged. The way styles are changed though is by drawing shapes onto the battlefield. This is either done with the right analog stick, or by using a touch surface. A circle makes a fist, a straight line makes a sword, and so on. The shapes are all simple, so it doesn't take long to learn what shape corresponds with what move, even if they are a bit arbitrary. The trick though, just as it was during my first hour, is in actually inputting the shapes correctly. I found that it didn't matter if I was using the control stick or touch controls, it wouldn't always do the transformation that I was attempting to do, even after hours of practice. Everything else about the game, from the visuals to the enemies to the generous retry system, scream at the player to go fast and play loose. Yet the way the fighting stances are changed, it makes for cautious play, and doesn't encourage engagement with the better aspects of the game. I usually ended up picking a fighting stance, and would stay with it for the entire battle, whether or not it was the best choice. Battles carried on longer than they needed to, and while my techniques were safe, they were boring too. Sometimes you just know that a game isn't for you and never will be. This is one of those games for me. It's big, loud, over the top, and embraces what it sets out to do with full vigor, and that's awesome. It has some aspects that I absolutely adore too. But between the visual clutter and the imprecise controls, it made it really difficult to find the fun. It frustrated me more than entertained me, and that makes it easy for me to put down the controller. Thanks once more to my patrons, and thank you for watching. As a heads up, I'm going to be slowing down my uploads for a bit, and that includes Second Chance videos. More time than it seems goes into making these, and with where I'm at in life right now, I have some other things that need some more of my attention. I'll still be around, and I'll still be uploading. It'll just be at a bit of a slower pace. I hope you stick around.